We all know SAP ECC, and we've known that solution for many, many years, and we know that it's a very reliable system. We've done fantastic things with it, but there are also some limitations. And as I'm a simple guy, in a way, I'd like to compare it with something which is maybe more familiar. I would just compare it with a car. An SAP ECC would be a very nice family car, not just any make, but some decent German make. Now, when we're talking about S/4HANA, we're talking about something completely different. And to show you how disruptive this is, the only thing I can compare it with would be a Tesla. And why? Well, those guys managed to build a car. I saw a report today of their new COO for the new factory, who stated that they're 7 years ahead of the competition. And how did they manage? Not by reinventing the things that already existed. No, they started from scratch, in a way. And this is exactly what has been happening with S/4HANA. It's built without too many boundaries from the past. There are 4 main characteristics which are in common between Tesla and the S/4HANA solution. First of all, we have the user experience. You can see the dashboard of a Tesla, but you can also see, as Mike already showed you, the user experience of S/4HANA with Fiori. And with Fiori 2.0, it will become even more attractive, because that's what it is. It's attractive, it's intuitive, it is error avoiding, and it's easy in a way. That's one, user experience. Simplification, important thing. How did Tesla do it? Well, the average car, when we're talking about moving parts, the average car has about 650. Tesla managed to build a car with only 16 moving parts. Interesting, because it's easier to build, cheaper to maintain. Well, same thing goes for S/4HANA. It's already explained. The simplification there lies, for instance, in the database structure. This would be the architecture of the finance and controlling area in ECC context, SAP ECC. After the simplification, this is only what is left behind. And you can say, okay, that's nice, techie stuff, and a little reduction in database. It's not that little, by the way. But this is also the basis for enabling simpler processes and new solutions which were previously impossible. And again, on top, adding some speed. If you need to remember one thing, this is it, embedded analytics. Why? Well, you can see on the left-hand side how Tesla is providing instant insight on your driving behavior and what the repercussion is on your driving range. Well, the same goes for S/4HANA with the Fiori apps. And on the right-hand side, we have an example we built for Decathlon in France, where the warehouse supervisor has these kinds of dashboards. So he can see a little graph with the movements that have been happening the past few hours. You can see a quick overview on the open orders and the overdue orders. And last but not least, a KPI showing what his backlog is. An iPhone or any smartphone is already part of Internet of Things. This is also how Tesla is doing. You can command your car with your iPhone or an app on it. And they're preparing to connect cars with each other to see if there's a problem coming up and auto braking when there's an emergency. Well, S/4HANA is the digital core to connect to the outside world. And whether we're talking here about the real Internet of Things and linking assets to your system, gathering that data and doing something with it, the big data, or whether it's a customer experience, everything related to omnichannel, which is happening on your website for e-commerce, or the sensitive analysis coming from Facebook and other social media, those can be linked to your SAP system only if it's S/4HANA, of course. There will be much more close interaction also with suppliers. Collaboration through real business networks. The word has already fallen, Ariba, connecting through the digital core. And then, last but not least, there's also a connection towards external workforce if needed for you. So, what have I been telling so far? There's user experience, there's simplicity, there's embedded analytics, and there is, of course, the last thing, the connectivity. Nice things, but of course, this does not come for free. Also, to put it a little boldly, there's a little bill. Project-wise, you will need at least a window in your organization to get this thing up and running. And it will require some creativity from you to find the window and to justify the window and the budget which is behind. Now, how can we do that? Just some inspiration. Therefore, I'm looking at Gartner. Those guys are already telling a long time that projects are not just a matter about the tools, but mainly about business processes and change management. So for that reason, you need to get together. It's not the IT department who will be running a kind of migration project. It's a business-wide thing which needs to be done. Do you want to shift from products towards services? If so, yes. Well, your platform will have to follow in some way. Link your project to that aspect. If your company is talking about omnichannel commerce, okay, very well, nice initiative, but it will have to be supported. So make use of that momentum which is living. Another thing, tangible benefits. You can calculate some things. Many of you are in the food industry. If you can anticipate on expiring stocks because of the power and the embedded analytics, this will save you some money. So you can easily calculate that. Let me just give you an example of something I discussed with one of our customers. It's about a distribution company. They have a network of retail points, and each of these retail points is responsible for its own stock. And they are able to order anything, anytime. And it will be delivered next day. Now with S/4HANA and its computing power, in fact, it's perfectly possible to take into account the current stock, the historical volumes, calculate how long they will be able to work with that stock, and adjust the time of delivery. And instead of running around the whole country and stopping at every single store, you can optimize. And the moment an urgent order comes in, you can easily recalculate. And the orders which were already committed for within 2 days, you can easily advance them in time and deliver it anyway. So there's a huge potential in cost saving there. So the main thing here is about inspiring people on what can be done differently, more efficiently, and making some money out of that.